ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्यसतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरोभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्ण लीलामृत सार तार शत शत धार दश दीग बहे जहाते से चैतन्य लीला सरोवर अक्षय मनाहंस चराहोताते। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we are in Adi Lila chapter 4, discussing the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. So before we start our class today, one important thing we should remember that we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us the love of Godhead, which was never ever given by any other incarnation. So while discussing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood, we come across different types of descriptions of devotional service. And we need to understand that certain descriptions are meant for discussing in public, and some other sections are not actually a public subject matter. That is for the devotees' personal cultivation. There will be certain sections coming today which are meant for the personal cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Not that we can discuss those topics in an open forum, but because this is a part of the study program, we can study, we can look into it. But those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, when they study such kind of literature on their own, they actually Krishna allows them to get a deep entry into their Krishna conscious experiences. They feel a divine joy just by reading and meditating on the subject matter. So in this section present, we are discussing about the characteristics of kama and prema, and particularly the difference has been shown between calm, lust, and love. And while discussing about the difference between lust and love, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami establishes that the gopis' love is free from lust. That is the subject matter discussion going on. In the previous section, we are discussing that Atma Sukha Dukkhe Gopir Nahika Vichar. A gopi does not consider her own pleasure or pain. Atma Sukha Dukkha Nahika Vichar. And Krishna Sukha Hetu Chesta Manobhyavahar. All her endeavors are intended for pleasing Krishna, for Krishna's enjoyment. Therefore, Krishna lagi ar sab kare paritya, Krishna sukha hetu kare suddha anurag. The attachment, pure attachment shown in the gopi towards Krishna is just for bringing pleasure to Krishna, to serve the Krishna. And in this connection, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that Krishna has a promise that ye jathamam prapadyante tam sataya bhajamya. Krishna reciprocates with his devotees according to their loving sentiments. So now, if the gopis, their only objective is to serve the Lord. Neither they desire any happiness for themselves in this world nor in the next world. Their approach to Krishna is based on Krishna Sukha Lagi, for the satisfaction of Krishna. Then, if they approach Krishna for Krishna's satisfaction, then how is Krishna going to reciprocate with them? Like, for example, in the sadhana platform, those who are not following the mood of the gopis, many times we see they go to Krishna. Why do they serve? Because they expect something in return. Okay, I am doing some preaching service. How many devotees are getting connected with Krishna consciousness? I have some expectations. Sometimes I pray to Krishna. Sometimes I am feeling happy by seeing how so many devotees are joining. Okay, or sometimes some people they go to the Lord with a desire that they can get some benefit, material benefit in reciprocation to their service. So Krishna will accordingly reciprocate with such kind of devotees. Jai Jathamam Prapadyanti means if you have a desire for yourself, Krishna will reciprocate with you. But the point is here, interesting point to take a note on that. Gopis, they don't have any desire for themselves. There is no so sukha vasana gandhahina. There is not even a flavor of their own satisfaction. Then how Krishna is going to satisfy, reciprocate with them? That's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Je pratigya bhanga, se pratigya bhanga harilo gopir bhajane, tahate praman Krishna srimukha bhajane. So here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, even though Krishna has said, Ye jathamam prapadyanti tam sataiva bhajamyam, but when it comes to gopis bhajan, the devotional service rendered by the gopis, Krishna is defeated. Why Krishna is defeated? Because gopis, they don't desire anything for themselves. They desire everything for Krishna. That means if Krishna is going to reciprocate with them, who is the benefactor? Gopis are not benefactor. Krishna is the benefactor. You got it? Krishna is saying, you go to Krishna, you say, Krishna, please help me to get a better job. Please help me to secure my business. Krishna said, all right, I'll reciprocate with you. But Gopi is not asking anything for herself. There is no personal account. Anything they want is they want for Krishna. And then Krishna reciprocated with them. Then who is getting the benefit? Krishna is getting benefit. This is how you should understand Gopi Bhav. What do you understand the meaning of Gopi Bhav? See how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains. Se pratigya bhango hoila. Now Krishna's promise is defeated. Gopir bhajane. Tahate praman Krishna simukha bhajane. And the proof is Krishna himself. That's why Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, he quotes this verse. Okay, that promise has been broken by the worship of the gopis, as Lord Krishna himself admits. Na parayeham nirabadya samyujam prasadhu krityam vibudhayusapiva ijama bhajandur jayageha sinkhala Sambreshcha tadva pratiyatu sadhuna. So Krishna is telling the gopis, O gopis, I am not able to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. See? No parayam niravadya samyujam. Krishna's union with the gopis is beyond reproach. Niravadya samyujam. So sadhukutya vibudhaya. Actually, your love, if I try to reciprocate with your love, I will not be able to reciprocate. Krishna is saying. Why? Okay. Then take life of Brahma. No, even if I take life of Brahma, still I will not be able to reciprocate. Why? So then how are you going to reciprocate with them? Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. Krishna admits here that there is no remuneration he can give to the gopis to reciprocate with their love. That's why Krishna is saying your service is your remuneration. তবে যে দেখিয়ে গোপীর নিজ দেহে প্রীত সেও তো কৃষ্ণের লাগি জানিত নিশ্চিত. Now, whatever affection we see the gopis show for their own bodies, know it for certain to be only for the sake of Lord Krishna. Sometimes in Bhagavatam, in other literature, there is description that gopis sometimes they decorate their body nicely. They maintain their body nicely. Is it so that they are like materialists with a desire to enjoy themselves? They are decorating themselves, they are keeping themselves fit? No, this is what. Krishna lagi. Sevta Krishna lagi. Janita nishchita. It should be understood for certain that they decorate their body, they maintain their body for the sake of Krishna. Prabhupada is giving a purport. The selfless love of Godhead exhibited by the gopis cannot have any parallel. We should not therefore misunderstand the carefulness of the gopis in their personal decoration. The gopis dress themselves as beautifully as possible just to make Krishna happy. By seeing them, just make Krishna happy by seeing them. They had no ulterior desires. They dedicated their bodies and everything they possessed to the service of Sri Krishna, taking it for granted that their bodies were meant for his enjoyment. They dressed themselves with the understanding that Krishna would be happy by seeing and touching them. You see, such kind of descriptions are going to become more and more critical for the modern people to understand as it is. Why? The modern concept of life is promoting selfishness. Everybody is working for their own satisfaction, own enjoyment. So the Vedic culture says that a lover is dedicated for his beloved. That is not understood. The promotion is going on at the present as is that how much you can take for yourself. People are becoming miser. They don't know what is service. Even in our Vedic civilization, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam also tells this. Like here we are discussing about the gopis, they dress themselves beautifully. Why? Because they want to satisfy Krishna. For Krishna satisfaction, they decorate themselves. Even in human civilization, the description given in Srimad Bhagavatam that a chaste wife, she would only decorate herself beautifully when her husband is near her. When husband is not near home, means not at home, if husband is abroad, then she does not decorate herself even beautifully. Why? There are two reasons. One reason is she knows that I have to decorate myself beautifully for my husband only. And another thing is when husband is not there, what is the point in decorating the self beautifully? If I am going to decorate, then I am just simply going to attract the unwanted entities towards me. So that is not required. Therefore, she would maintain a very low profile at that time. She would not decorate herself. You see, even in Varnashram civilization, Varnashram system, it is followed. Then, if a human being follows this kind of tradition, then what is difficult in understanding pure devotee of the Lord is decorating herself very nicely for Krishna satisfaction. Whatever he does. Forget about gopis, Prabhupada. Let us talk about Prabhupada. Whatever he did, for who did he do all these things? Because Krishna Mahaprabhu says, Prithivite Achijata Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachar Haivi Marinam. So therefore Prabhupada went out and he started his preaching mission. For who? He's serving for Krishna. He's decorating himself. He's keeping himself fit just to serve Krishna. It's not very difficult to understand it. But the people who are sensually inclined, when they read this kind of description, they feel, oh, Krishna, he enjoys by seeing and touching them. That means there is some sensual activity. No, there is no sensual activity going on here. এই দেহ কইলু আমি কৃষ্ণ সমর্পণ তার ধন তার ইহা সম্ভোগ সাধন. Gopi never considers her body as herself. That is not meant for her enjoyment. That's why she thinks, I have offered this body to Lord Krishna. He is its owner and it brings him enjoyment. It gives me, it reminds me of pastime between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, right? Sanatana Goswami, when he was in Puri, so he would not come to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by following the regular course. Because the Pandas, they are going to temple, and so he doesn't want to come on that path. By chance, if his body is touched by the Panda's body, then they will become contaminated. Sanatana Goswami, he, thinks so low of himself. So he would come on the bank of the ocean. And in Puri, on the bank of ocean, there is no soil, there is only sand. During summer season, the sand become very hot. So in that way, while walking on the sandy path on the summer hot season, Sanatana Goswami developed some boil in his body. And he decided, then whenever he came to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes his devotees, he would always embrace his devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also would embrace Sanatana Goswami. But Sanatana Goswami thought, my body is now full of boils, and if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to embrace me, then these pus will be touching Mahaprabhu's body. This is not good. Then he decided, I am going to give up this body by committing suicide. How he is going to commit suicide? Putting this body before the chariot wheel. This is how I'm going to finish my body. Because this body is no more useful for serving Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is thinking like that. Huh? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Sanatan, what is going on? When you have given this body to me, still you think to destroy it? This is not your property anymore. Why are you thinking to destroy it? Huh? So see, Gopi also thinking like that. This body does not belong to me. If Sanatana Goswami can think like that, what is the problem in Gopi's thinking? Gopi can also think. Huh? This is Krishna's property. He can enjoy the way he wants. Yadeha darsana sparse Krishna santoshan ei lagi kare deher marjana bhushan. Krishna finds joy in seeing and touching this body. It is for this reason that they cleanse and decorate their bodies. Nijangam atijagopyo mameti samupasate tabhyah param name partha nigudha prema bhajanam. This is a statement from Krishna to Arjuna in Adi Puran. He says, "Oh Arjuna, there are no greater receptacles of deep love for me than the gopis, who cleanse and decorate their bodies because they consider them mine." Arek adbhuta gopi bhavir shobha buddhir gochor nahe jahar prabhav. There is another wonderful feature of the emotion of the gopis. Its power is beyond the comprehension of the intelligence. The gopi's emotion cannot be understood by applying human intelligence. The proof is Gopigana Karijave Krishna Darshan Sukhavancha Nahi Sukha Kutigun. When the gopis see Lord Krishna, they derive hundreds unbounded bliss, although they have no desire for such pleasure. So previously we have discussed, now we are discussing about the prem, the love of the gopis for Krishna. So before we discuss that gopis, they have no personal desire. They serve Krishna for Krishna's satisfaction. So now here it is said that Sukhovancha nahi. Even though they don't have desire for personal happiness, Sukha hoy koti gun. Still they enjoy millions of times bliss. So how is this possible? Isn't it? You see, if you don't have desire for happiness, even if I keep 10 different types of sweets which you like, actually you used to like, I would say like that, you used to like, but now it has no more, you don't have any liking for it, not because of diabetes, but naturally. Actually, if there is diabetes, you will be externally saying that I don't have desire, but internally you are thinking, oh, had I not have diabetes, I would have enjoyed this. No, it's not like that. Previously, when you are in healthy condition, you liked sweets, and now you are also in healthy condition, but somehow by your sadhana practice, you don't have any desire for the sweet, then how can you enjoy? How can you have happiness? Because the sweet is there in front of you, can you have happiness? That's what it said, that gopi bhav, the emotion of the gopis is beyond human intelligence, beyond the understanding of beyond the power of the human intelligence. This is what you need to understand. You see, when a devotee is engaged in serving Krishna without any selfish motive, the nature of the love, we can say, the nature of loving devotional service is such that even though the devotee does not desire happiness for his personal account, on his personal account, still the glory of love of God is that by being engaged in Krishna's service without any personal desire, he will have higher sense of happiness. He will experience higher sense of happiness. From this understanding, we can understand that Gopi's love is without reproach. It's a fact. Means their experience of happiness in serving Krishna is beyond the material conception of life. Actually, even in sadhana practice, while in this world, when a sadhaka, he engages his body in Krishna service. What is the Shuddha Bhakti? Shuddha Bhakti? Anukulyana Krishnanusilanam Bhakti Uttama. Anusilanam. Anusilanam refers to engaging our body, mind, word, senses in Krishna service without desiring anything for himself in this lifetime or next lifetime. Then when he is not desiring anything, that means he is not desiring anything to enjoy in the bodily platform. That time, the experience which will be awarded, the experience of happiness will be awarded by Krishna to the sadhaka is beyond the experience of this material body. It will automatically, he will feel joy from within. That is the power of the love of Godhead. Those who don't understand this, in modern concept of life, people, they only enjoy everything in relation to the body, right? You see something, touch something, eat something, hear something. That is in relation to the material body. Krishna is transcendental. Krishna's love is also transcendental. The experience of happiness that is coming from serving Krishna with love is also transcendent. That is nothing to relate to this material body. Even though in this body he is experiencing happiness, but that happiness is not due to the material connection. That has to be understood. That is what he said. Gopika darsane Krishne jayananda hoy taha hoite koti gon gopi aswadai. The gopis taste a pleasure 10 million times greater than the pleasure Lord Krishna derives from seeing them. The wonderful characteristics of the gopis are beyond imagination. They have no desire for personal satisfaction. Yet, when Krishna is happy by seeing them, that happiness of Krishna makes the gopis a million times more happy than Krishna himself. See, this is, as we said, first, the standard is you cannot understand by your material intelligence. But this is the nature of love, that when the gopi sees Krishna, sometimes Krishna also sees the gopis, Krishna experiences happiness, then automatically gopi is also experiencing happiness. Tasavara nahi nija sukha anurod tathapi badhai sukh padila virod. So there is a contradiction here. Even though she does not want, then how she is experiencing happiness? Without desire, how can she experience? So that's a contradiction here. Therefore, it says, "E virodher ekmatra dekhi samadhan gopikar sukha krishna sukhe paryavasam." For this contradiction, I see only one solution. The joy of the gopis lies in the joy of their beloved Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada, you see, sometimes our devotees say, is there gopi love? Is there, gopi upasana in our society? You see, what is this? You do everything for Krishna's satisfaction. That is gopi bhav. That is gopi's love. Prabhupada has been teaching us since beginning, right? And we don't understand this. And we are thinking that we go to, Vrindavan, meet with a Rasika Bhakta, Babaji Maharaj. Maybe Babaji Maharaj will tell you some confidential story. Then only you will understand Gopi Bhav, Gopi Seva. Are Baba, what Gopi Bhav, Gopi Seva you will do? Try to understand this. The joy of the gopis lies in the joy of their beloved Krishna. Prabhupada said, whatever you do for the satisfaction of Krishna. Krishna is devotee. You are going to temple, do some service without any expectation. That is the samadhan of this contradiction. That even though they don't desire for happiness, but still they desire happiness. In our case, we are desiring happiness, but we are not getting happiness because we are selfish people. Therefore, our expectations are too much. If you follow the same principle, without desiring any happiness, you serve Krishna, then you will see automatically you will get happiness. You see, Prabhupada was not actually recognized by his godbrothers when he was in India before going to America. Because his mood is different. And Prabhupada went alone and he just served for the satisfaction of Krishna. You see how much happiness and satisfaction Krishna wanted to Prabhupada? Prabhupada could not hold so much happiness even. Right? So much recognition, so many people are coming, devotees are, taking part in Krishna consciousness with Prabhupada. So much enjoyment Prabhupada got. This is the proof. Forget about gopis, love. That how they are getting satisfaction and happiness, enjoyment is coming automatically when they are serving Krishna for his satisfaction. See, it's direct. Directly we can see in the life of our founder Acharya. So what is the difficulty in understanding it? When you try to see everything in the bodily platform, that breeds confusion. That brings delusion. That the eko matra dekhi samadhan. Only one solution. The solution is the joy of the gopis lies in the joy of their beloved. That means when a devotee finds his joy is only joy of Krishna's satisfaction, then only he will experience the real joy of Krishna consciousness. On the other hand, sometimes devotee is kind of being joyful because he is serving Krishna with an expectation, and that expectation is being met. That's why he is feeling joy. That is not the real joy of Krishna consciousness. Apply this principle. You have some desire, okay, just now you also get some satisfaction on that platform. But real joy of Krishna consciousness is experienced when we just desire to serve Krishna for his satisfaction. Difficult. Sadhu, it is not so easy to experience in this world. Prabhupada is saying, the situation of the gopis is perplexing. For although they did not want personal happiness, it was imposed upon them. The solution to this perplexity is that Sri Krishna's sense of happiness is limited by the happiness of the gopis. Devotees at Vrindavan, therefore, try to serve the gopis, namely Radharani and her associates. If one gains the favor of the gopis, he easily gains the favor of Krishna, because on the recommendation of the gopis, Krishna at once accepts the service of a devotee. Lord Chaitanya, therefore, wanted to please the gopis instead of Krishna. But his contemporaries misunderstood him. And for this reason, Lord Chaitanya renounced the uh, order of householder life and became a sannyasi. गोपिका दर्शने कृष्णेर बाढ़े प्रफुल्लता से माधुर्य बाढ़े जार नहीं कमम समता. When Lord Krishna sees the gopis, his joy increases and his unparalleled sweetness increases also. Because these devotees are free from personal desire, when they are present before Lord, Krishna feels very happy. We have seen, many examples in the Vedic literature. Sometimes here, if you see like that, okay, Krishna sees the gopis, his happiness increases. It's not to be seen from the material perspective, from the body platform. You see, there are so many evidences in scripture where the devotee's body is not very beautiful actually. They haven't eaten for so many days. Like you see in Jagannath's pastime, this Bandhu Mahanti, he traveled all the way from the village, walking for many days and nights. He has not eaten anything. And he comes, by the time he reaches Jagannath temple, it was night time. And he's very hungry. And where he is going to get the food from, where he is going to sleep. Okay, no food. Let me sleep on this Baradanda, on the road. The Jagannath chariot moves. He's sleeping at night on the dust of Baradanda. And Jagannath comes with his own plate, Swarna Thali. Jagannath accepts Rajbhog on golden plate, on gold plate actually. And that gold plate, whatever prasadam is there, Jagannath is bringing personally and giving to Bandhu Mahanti. See, Krishna feels so much satisfaction just to see his devotees. Do you think Krishna is sensual man? Huh? By looking at the gopis, he feels joy. Why can't you see how Krishna is in form of Jagannath? He is feeling joy in carrying prasadam for his devotee Bandhu Mahanti. Not that his body was very beautiful. That's why Jagannath is coming to him. Huh? Why Jagannath is coming to him? Because Jagannath loves the devotees who love him. Krishna is bound by their love. Amara darsane Krishna pailayata shuk, ei sukhe gopir prafulla anga mukh. The gopis think Krishna has obtained so much pleasure by seeing me that thought increases. The fullness and beauty of their faces and bodies. Gopi Shobha dekhi Krishner Shobha badhe jata, Krishna Shobha dekhi Gopir Shobha badhe tata. The beauty of Lord Krishna increases at the sight of the beauty of the gopis. And the more the gopis see Lord Krishna's beauty, the more their beauty increases. Ei mata paraspar pade huda hudi, paraspar badhe kahe keho, mukha nahi mudi. In this way, a competition takes place between them in which no one acknowledges defeat. When Krishna sees the gopis, gopis' beauty increases. And then when Gopi's beauty increases, then Krishna feels satisfaction, then automatically Gopis feel satisfaction. When gopis are satisfied, their beauty increases. When gopis' beauty increases, then Krishna glances them more. Krishna becomes satisfied. When Krishna is satisfied, gopis are also satisfied. Because their satisfaction is Krishna's satisfaction. When they are satisfied, again their beauty increases. And then again Krishna. Say, there is no end. Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritam sadhanam. In the material world, you go to a beautiful place, right? You see once. Next day you tell your son, my dear child, we'll go to see that place. No, no, Papa, we have seen that. So go to another place. Right? You don't have to look at the same place again and again. Same beauty becomes unpalatable to us in the material world. But in transcendental world, the beauty is increasing every time. That's why there is no defeat. See? Who will not desire to go to this world? But unfortunately, these foolish people in this world, they still are hankering for the material beauty. They don't want to take up Krishna consciousness because they don't have this information. You want to enjoy eternally, go to spiritual world. There is happiness. Kintu Krishner sukha hai gopi rupa gune tar sukhe sukha vriddhi hai gopi gane. এই মত সেই সুখ কৃষ্ণ সুখ পোষে এই হেতু গোপী প্রেমে নাহি কাম দোষে. Krishna, however, derives pleasure from the beauty and good qualities of the gopis. And when the gopis see his pleasure, the joy of the gopis increases. অতএব সেই সুখ কৃষ্ণ সুখ পোষে. Therefore, we find that the joy of the gopis nourishes the joy of Lord Krishna. এই হেতু গোপী প্রেমে নাহি কাম দোষে. For this reason, the fault of lust is not present in their love. As we said, so the discussion was that there's a difference between kama and prema. And gopis' love is devoid of lusty desire. This is the proof. And to prove this, that Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is giving a reference from Sanatana Goswami's writing. Sorry, this Rupa Goswami, that is Tavamala. So before we continue, Srila Prabhupada is giving a small purport to 195. By looking at the beautiful gopis, Krishna becomes enlivened. And this enlivens the gopis, whose youthful faces and bodies blossom. This competition of increasing beauty between the gopis and Krishna, which is without limitations, is so delicate that sometimes mundane moralists make these dealings to be purely amorous. But these affairs are not at all mundane, because the gopis' intense desire to satisfy Krishna surcharges the entire scene with pure love of Godhead, with not a spot of sexual indulgence. Upetya pathi sundari tatibhirabhirabhyachirtam smitang purakara vinai natadapangabhangi satahi stanastabaka sancharanayana chanchari kanchalam braje vijainam bhaje vipinadesatah kesavam. I worship Lord Kesava. Coming back from the forest of Braj, he is worshipped by the gopis, who mount the roofs of their palaces and meet him on the path with 100 manners of dancing glances and gentle smiles. The corners of his eyes wander like large black beads around the gopis' breasts. So this is a verse written by Rupa Goswami. This explains that Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. He has witnessed personally this pastime actually. This is his experience. That's how he has compiled this verse in Stavamala. আর এক গোপী প্রেমের স্বাভাবিক চিহ্ন যে প্রকারে হয় প্রেম কামগন্ধহীন. There is another natural symptom of the gopi's love that shows it to be without a trace of lust. So we'll continue from here next time. We'll just keep it here. Okay, any question or comment you may have, your devotees, before we continue, 10 more minutes are there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for taking today's class. I hope your health is much better now.
Yes. By Krishna's mercy, I have rested well for many days.
Jai. That's nice, Prabhuji, to see you back, and we are thankful for that, for the class again. I wish today's class would go on and on. It is so beautiful today. The description of the transcendental competition between Krishna and the gopis. It's really amazing. In fact, it's a small proof we have seen in our world also, because as devotees, when we go to serve in the temple, we always see a glow on the faces, right? So there is no doubt that, when the gopis were with Krishna, that they were, millionfold beautiful, like their beauty was increasing. So
Yes.
This is so true.
Yeah. When you serve Krishna, Krishna decorates your body also. Because you have to see you are healthy.
Yes, Prabhuji. So this is really, really beautiful to hear. And also another realization just dawned upon me, that I think we should always pray to be the servant of the gopis, like we were reading in one of the purports today. And this really means that we should pray to be the servant of the gopis, because we cannot imitate Gopi Bhav, but if we pray for their, to be in their line of service, hopefully we will get some mercy from there.
Yeah, you can pray Gopi Vartu Padakamalur Das
Das Anudas. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for today's class. It was really amazing. I'm looking forward to next week. Thank you.
Yeah, next week will, Krishna willing. Everything is in Krishna's hand. Nothing is in our hand.
Absolutely. Yes, Prabhuji. But thank you so much. This is really getting to be very interesting now.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for a wonderful class, and we are happy to have you back after a long gap. And good to know that you're feeling better now, Prabhuji. I had two questions, Prabhuji. One is in verse 189. It says, Lord Chaitanya therefore wanted to please the gopis instead of Krishna, but his contemporaries misunderstood him, and for this reason Lord Chaitanya renounced the order of householder life and became a sannyasi. So how do we understand this?
No, this is a pastime Prabhupada is referring to. The pastime is like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Gaya, and after he met his Guru Maharaj there, took initiation, then come back. This time his mood is totally changed. He is no more naughty Nimai. He is very grave. And whatever he teaches, now he is speaking about Krishna and he is chanting the name of the gopis. What is this? What is going on? What happened to this son of Jagannath Mishra? Huh? Do you think you are better than us? So the contemporaries of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time, we are finding fault with him. Why are you chanting Gopi's name? This is not desirable from you. Are you claiming superiority over us by chanting Gopi's name? So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Dhritakoti Dora Kamandavadandam. What is that verse? You know, Durjana it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he then decided he would take sannyas, the life of a beggar. Why? At that time, then these people who are committing offense unto him by criticizing him, at least they will respect him as a sannyasi. That's how they will become free from the offenses and they will become qualified to attain liberation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is how you can see the mercy of Chaitanya. Chaitanya Chandrer Daya Karha Vichar, Vichar Karile Chitte Pare Chamatkar. This is how you should deliberate on the merciful nature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you deliberate on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, then your heart will be filled with ecstasy. So this is one proof. So he is actually, Prabhupada is referring to that pastime here.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhupada. One more question is, in the verses it says like we should serve for pleasure of Krishna and not with any selfish desire, right? So, but if we pray for love for Krishna or, a love of Godhead, or like as Mataji said, Gopi Bhav, if we pray for that, will that be considered as a selfish desire? Like we are asking for something in return? Or is it okay?
No, you can pray for service. Service you can. Okay. You are praying for service for his satisfaction, no? That's okay, no problem.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
And whatever service you have got in the meantime, before you ask for more service, do that service nicely. Automatically Krishna will give you more service. And don't compete with others. Because we are not in the transcendental platform. In the name of so-called transcendental competition, we create havoc. We create more misunderstanding between devotee community. We are not in that transcendental level that we can compete. No, there are certain things we cannot just imitate. You, whatever service you have been given, you just do your service with happy mood. Pray to him to give you good mood so that you can serve him nicely. That's okay. You got it right.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Puji. Two questions for which you have time to.
Yeah.
But with one comment which I remembered, Sundapriya Mataji mentioned that we should aspire for the servant of the gopis. I remember that in Prabhupada Lilamrit it's mentioned that whenever Sri Prabhupada's father, whenever the sadhus used to come to their house, he's always say, "Please bless so that my son can become the servant of Srimati Radharani." So I remember that anecdote when she mentioned.
Yeah. That's bona fide. That's bona fide.
Who have a question? In the same purport of 189 Prabhu, is the second sentence saying that Krishna's sense of happiness is limited by the happiness of the gopis. So what does that mean, Prabhu?
That means when gopis are happy, Krishna is happy. If gopis are not happy, then Krishna is not happy. That's why Krishna's happiness is limited with gopis' happiness.
Okay.
That's what we said, no? Means, see, here we should understand that Krishna is bound by the loving affection of his devotees. This is what it means. Who can bind Krishna? Mother Jashoda cannot bind Krishna. That means Krishna is limited before Mother Jashoda's love. But Krishna is not limited actually. He is unlimited. Who can bind him? So that is how we should understand. It's not on the sensual platform, but it is on transcendental platform. Krishna is natural. This is Anubhav. Bhishmadev says, no, asyana bhavam Veda Guhyatamam Shiva. The Anubhava of Krishna is very difficult to understand even in the Vedas. Who can understand? Shiva, Narada and Kapila. According to Vishmadev, is saying they mean the authorities, they understand. Otherwise, we will remain confused to understand what is Krishna's Anubhava here. This is Anubhava actually. That he is reciprocating. That he, even though he is unlimited, but he is projecting himself like a limited one before Gopi's love. That is his Anubhava, you can say. One way to understand. That is how he presents himself before his devotees.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Mahaprabhu willing, we will meet next week. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare.
Sancha Guru Vyasya Kripa Sindhu
Patitam Devi Vaishnavi.
Ananta Koti Jai.
Yeah.
Prabhupada.